And I would like to pass on the speaker to Mr. James Hardy to get to say something about the Flutterwave. We are building our national backbone infrastructure and trying to formalize the economy and migrating from the informal economy to a formal economy and trying to bring everyone inclusive in the economy. And I'm sure John would want to hear this to be able to widen his tax base. How do we take advantage of this national backbone infrastructure and that we're bringing the internet cheaper to everyone, entire country? And how do you tap into that as Flutterwave to make payment solutions cheaper and the fintech?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think obviously we're all aware of the power of the internet to bring people into the formal sector, because apart from anything else, it also enables digital payment, and so you can move away from cash. You saw the explosive growth of China between 2000 and 2010 was really built on the back of internet penetration and internet growth, and the widespread adoption of digital payment systems. And so I think within Uganda and Africa generally, but certainly within Uganda, the expectation would be that internet penetration itself equates to significant growth in the digital payment sector, because it enables all of the opportunities that sit on top of the internet. I think the key, of course, is to ensure that the mobile penetration is particularly high as opposed to necessarily desktop, because what you discover in almost all countries that are developing countries is the mobile penetration will be 90 to 95%. So anything enabled has to be Momo, has to be some form of digital capability which can operate off mobile, and ideally through SIM as well.
Thank you. We're beginning, after the COVID experience, we started seeing people migrating from retail to online marketplace. And this, I'm sure John is trying to see how to tap into the e-commerce. How do we widen our tax base with these payment solutions, the digital payment? We've seen gambling, we've seen online marketplace, YouTube. They're getting this money, but we're not tapping from it. How is Flutterwave going to help Uganda to be able to tap into this e-commerce and widen our tax base?
So I think let's start from first principles as to how e-commerce grows in countries, and I was previously head of Europe, Middle East and Africa for Alibaba. So I spent a lot of time looking at the question as to how you can really grow e-commerce and how do you grow it fast. I think you have to fundamentally you have to solve three problems. You have to solve the logistics problem, which actually underpins all of e-commerce. You have to solve the trust problem, which is often, and certainly in China, was solved through escrow, through Alipay building an escrow system. So you have to solve the trust problem, and that's really the marketplaces themselves building escrow systems to solve trust problems, so that if I buy something from you, the money is not actually released until I've received the goods. And that was really the underpinning of what allowed Alipay and Alibaba to dominate eBay. In 2003, eBay had an 80% market share in China. And AliExpress and Alipay generally had about a 5% market share. Within 4 years, because they had built an escrow system into the marketplaces, and so therefore they had solved the trust problem, e-commerce had exploded in China, and everybody who was using escrow was solving the problem. So the third piece of it, you've got logistics, which you have to solve. You've got the trust issue, which you have to solve. The third piece is that you have to solve payments. And really, you ultimately need to ensure that the widest possible range of payments are available for online payment, whether that's through card, whether that's direct through the bank or anything else, because ultimately consumers will have preferences and they will also have individual capabilities, and these need to be maximized in order to maximize e-commerce. So it's as simple as that. Flutterwave is Pan-African, focuses cross-border and within African countries, and really is trying to enable anybody within Africa to pay anybody else for anything.
Thank you.